law, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Bahashim Kakwadash, double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone, even the elders that came before them that taught us his truth. Shalom and salutations to all the brothers out pushing the word of truth and its sincerity, the hopeful elect tabernacle of David, the elder Yashawan. Shalom and salutations to you all. This video epistle is basically to let you know this thing moves forward. Okay, this is the latest from Mirandi, who is now wanted. He's a wanted man out there. They got hits out on him, letting you know that he's pushing the truth. 2 hours ago, Mirandi discusses the targeting of nuclear plants, desalination, critical infrastructure, and the civilian population, letting you know what? This thing moves forward. All right, because there are two narratives out there. Oh, yeah, it's over. It's kind of over. No, it's not kind of over. Okay, here's what's going on the battlefield, on the battlefront. All right, so I'm going to let him talk for like 10 straight minutes. Let's get a, let them come forth. Let's get a precept real quick. Let them come forth. RTH. Let's see. It's not that. I want what? Joel? Let them come forth. What do we got? Bear with me. Okay. This is where we are. Salakia. Bear with me for a moment. I'm still getting used to this new computer. Let them come forth. Draw near. Advance. Come up. Come up. Come up. I want forth. Get ready for war. Be eager to fight. Line up for the battle. Prepare to attack. Let them come up. Come near. Gather all your soldiers in march. Call them up. Let the men approach. Let them come up. Come up, come up, come up. Come forth. All right. Draw near. Come up. Come up. Come forth. Report. Let all the soldiers report and march. Report to your battalion. Approach, ascend. Okay? Well, that's what's going on. They're coming up. They're approaching. Okay? Come forth. Forward. Okay? Draw near, come up. There it is. All right? Come to the fore. All right? Anyway, let's see. Back here, let's let Mirandi describe. He's going to go on for about 10 minutes. What does this say? Attacking. It says, cite total war. Where's this thing going? Right? Is it going to calm down? Right? Pentagon detailed. Okay, let's look at this. War. U.S. Israel draw down. But your boy said, draw down. We're going to draw down on you. Ernie Edomite war in Iran. See what this says. Look at the language. One day. Israel ambassador U.S. Trump says Israel will be willing to end Iran war when U.S. does. What? Yeah, that sounds like drawing down. Israel dragged U.S. into war. Fake news. What? How about the drawing down? All right. No, it's not drawn down. Winding down. U.S. ways winding down West Asia operations. So, which one is it? Okay, we'll look at this afterwards. Trump losing war. It doesn't sound like winding down. Okay, 4 hours. Iran's 6 big conditions for ceasefire. Right? Unobtainable. Yeah, no, they're not winding anything down. You see? All right, so let's go back here. Let's listen to Marandi. And I'm going to let him talk because this guy is up on it. Or they wouldn't have a hit out on him if he wasn't over the target, as they say. So this is Glenn Deason's show 2 hours ago. This is pretty much, hot off the press.
Welcome back. We are joined again by Professor Said Mohammed Marandi, professor at Tehran University and also a former advisor to Iran's nuclear negotiation team. Thank you, as always, for coming on the program. We see that this is quite troubling times. Israel has attacked the nuclear power plants at Bushehr and Natanz, and Iran has retaliated against the city of Dimona, where the Israelis have their own nuclear plants. This was not an attack on the nuclear plant, apparently, but nearby in terms of hitting the city. So it does seem that we could be moving to a de facto nuclear war if this is the new trend that is attacking nuclear facilities with the possibility of a nuclear fallout. And making matters worse, we see that Trump gave Iran this ultimatum of 48 hours to open the Strait of Hormuz, essentially capitulate. Otherwise, they would start hitting Iran's largest energy fields.
So, yeah. Capitulate. That doesn't sound like winding down now, does it? Let me get us back in there.
We see that the Iranian military headquarters, if I get this right, warned that if the US would carry through on these threats, then they would knock out the energy facilities and desalination plants across the Gulf states would essentially be the end of this, these states. So we're looking almost towards total war here. I was wondering if you could give me your assessment of what is happening, because this seems like uncontrolled escalation at this point.
Woo! Served him up perfectly. Look at Marandi. Okay? So it's escalating. It's spiraling out of control. That last part of what he just said right there. Listen to how he set that up, and then Marandi goes straight in. All right, take it, Deason.
We're looking almost towards total war here. I was wondering if you could give me your assessment of what is happening, because this seems like uncontrolled escalation at this point.
Well, thank you very much for inviting me, Glenn. It's always a pleasure being on your show. But we have to keep in mind, of course, and I know your audience knows this, but Western media, for some reason, pretends as if this were not the case. The war began with US Israeli aggression like 8, 9 months ago. And every attack was met with a response. In other words, the Iranians are retaliating, they're not initiating anything. So the attack last night on the Israeli regime and on buildings linked to their nuclear program was in response to their strike on Iranian nuclear facility. And Iran's response to escalation has already been seen by all of us when the Israeli regime, with US coordination, there's no doubt about that, when they struck Iran's vital gas installation in the South Pars gas field, the Iranians swiftly responded and destroyed significant parts of Qatar's gas facilities and its LNG facilities in particular.
So right now he's way inside describing in great detail some tit for tat type shit. Okay, he's just going way into it and parsing it all the way out. Basically, they hit us, so we hit them back. You hit my gas field, we take it to your gas field. Tit for tat.
And Saudi and Emirati energy facilities. And the reason why Iran did that was to make sure that the United States didn't go further. And then we saw Trump post on social media that the Israeli regime won't do this again. Of course, he then made threats against Iran, but that was to cover basically this retreat, the fact that he wanted to back down. But of course, Trump is Trump. And he says one thing now, and then literally an hour later, he'll say something very different. So his promises that the Israeli regime will not strike again don't mean anything to the Iranians. They will always, when it comes to the United States, plan for the worst, and especially when it's Trump. You recall, before the war, we had this discussion about whether there will be a war. I always said that Iran is planning for the worst. It doesn't care what Trump says. The same is true now. So now Trump is making another threat, and that is that he will destroy Iran's vital infrastructure and target its electrical power plants. He already made that threat before, and Dr. Larijani tweeted that if that happens, as you pointed out earlier, there will be massive retaliation. And nothing happened back then. After Iran's response to the attack on the South Pars gas field, it's clear what Iran is going to do if the United States does carry out this threat. And that would mean that the world will head towards a global economic catastrophe, something that I've been saying for many years.
A what? A global what? So this is serious. Seems like it's just words and, back and forth on the computer. This is going down right now. People aren't paying attention.
For Corona, I actually had an interview on Press TV that went viral back then. I said exactly what we're now seeing. If Iran's vital infrastructure is destroyed, Iran will destroy everything on the other side of the Persian Gulf, because these regimes are all engaged in warfare against Iran. They've allowed the United States to use the airspace. They've allowed the United States to use bases. They've allowed the United States to use their land outside the bases. They not only allow jets to fly over to bomb Iran, but they allow tankers to refuel those jets. They do everything necessary to kill Iranians. So they are fully complicit.
In the war.
And a strike targeting Iran's key or vital infrastructure is a strike to target the Iranian nation. And of course, a major crime against humanity, which in the West doesn't mean anything because after Trump's uh, threat last night, we didn't see any Western media say that this is outrageous or that this is a threat against over 90 million people. No, because Western media collectively, they are Epstein class controlled. So it doesn't matter if it's the Guardian or Breitbart, they're all the same. When it
We mentioned that Epstein class is part of the new vocabulary. They can throw that out there whenever they want to.
comes to empire. So this means, if he carries out this attack, that the energy crisis will be permanent and that the global economy will collapse. And that will have implications that are beyond my imagination. I can think of horrible things, hundreds of millions of people on the move, starvation, the collapse of industry. I can think of many, many things, but it will be because of Trump. And if Iran is forced to destroy that key infrastructure, then it doesn't matter if there's an end to the hostilities and Iran allows the Strait of Hormuz to be open because there will be no oil or gas to go through it and no tankers to take that energy
and it's the end of the world as we know it.
Or anything else. So we are where we are, but I just want to stress that Iran didn't push us here. Iran's threats are being made so that the United States doesn't do anything stupid. I mean, this whole war is stupid.
Stupid, stupid. Stupid is as stupid does, right? So, with that, let us get what is now famous. This is Second Esdras, right? 9 in the GNT, right? Second Esdras 9 in the GNT, good old Bible hub, right? This is famous now. Let's go straight to it. Second Esdras 9 and 3, right? Because what we're looking for is unstable leaders and confused rulers. Let's read about that. Start at 1. Second Esdras 9 and 1 in the GNT. He answered, consider all these things very carefully. When you see that some of the signs I've told you about have appeared, you will know that the time has come when God Most High will bring judgment on the world he has created. There will be earthquakes, national rebellions, international intrigues, unstable leaders, and confused rulers. Okay, so on its face, okay, what he's explaining, right? If I take it back just a hair, right? What is he talking about? Talking about these goofballs, Hegseth, and
To be open because there will be no oil or gas to go through it and no tankers to take that energy.
Who's doing this?
Or petrochemicals or anything else. So we are where we are, but I just want to stress that Iran didn't push us here. Iran's threats are being made so that the United States doesn't do anything stupid. I mean, this whole war is stupid. It is barbaric. It is inhumane, and it is fully supported by the West and its regional proxies, as we saw Erdogan and Sisi and Abdullah and Jordan and these regimes in the Persian Gulf condemned Iran for retaliation against US assets in the Persian Gulf, and they didn't even mention the Israeli and American war of aggression on Iran because they're in the American camp. The UN Security Council, too, condemned Iran and refused to even acknowledge this assault on the country. So Iran is on its own. It has to carry out its threats of retaliation. Otherwise, the United States will bomb Iran and destroy asset after asset, vital infrastructure throughout the country will be destroyed. The only way to stop it is to have deterrence, and for that deterrence to be used after credible warnings are given. And that
I also saw the G7.
And that what? You get that last little bit, and I'll get a preset and close. Let's see.
and for that deterrence to be used after credible warnings are given. And that is where we are right now.
And that is where we are right now. Let's go to, since we're there, second as, what do we want? Fitting. Let's get 15 while we're at it. Let's get them Carmanians. Where's 30? Ooh. Let's see. Hell, I don't even know where it is. But the dragons, the Carmonians. Okay, here we go. 28. Okay, so yeah, all right, let's read from 26. A terrifying vision from the east, right? Second Ezra's 15 and 26. Second Ezra 15:26. The Most High is aware of all of those who sin against him, and he will hand them over to death and destruction. Terrible disasters have already come upon the world, and there is no escape. You have sinned against the Most High, and he will not rescue you. Then in the east you will suddenly see a fearsome sight. Arab armies with many chariots will advance like dragons. As soon as they start out, the sound of their hissing will spread across the world and bring fear and trembling to everyone who hears it. That's going on now. The Carmonians will come out of the forest in a fierce rage like wild boars advancing in full strength to attack the dragon. What? To attack with the dragons. With their tusks, will they tear up a large part of Assyria. That's the Israeli and American force, right? But the dragons will unite their forces, regain their former strength, and win the victory. They will turn and pursue the wild. No, they're not going to pursue the wild boars. They will join with the wild boars. Okay, and see, it's the Assyrians will turn, right, and run and flee. Be forced to turn and run. Okay. The wild boars will be ambushed. No. You know what? We can't even read this. So I'm gonna have to read this in the tradition because that doesn't make sense. They're getting it wrong. They're getting that all jacked. So let's not even do that. Let's read it again. Salakia, I tried to go. See, second Ezra. Second Ezra's. That'll do. Nope, that'll do. Go back. Bear with me real quick. This will do. Yep. 13, give me a fitting. Let's Get them Carmanians. All right, here we are. 20. Let's start at 28. Second Ezra 15:28. Salakia. Behold, a horrible vision and the appearance thereof from the east, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots, and the multitude of them shall be carried as wind upon the earth, that all they which hear them may fear and tremble. Also the Carmanians raging in wrath shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood, and shall with great power shall they come and join battle with them. So the Carmanians are going to join, the boars are going to join together with the dragons. Right? Join battle with them. Where is it? And shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. The Assyrians are Israeli American forces. And then shall the dragons have the upper hand, remembering their nature, and if they shall turn themselves, conspiring together in great power to persecute them, then these Assyrians shall be troubled, bled, and keep silence through their power, and shall flee. All right, so that's where we're at. And that's what Marandi is explaining right now. Look, we're handling this to the point where the Arabs are going to be like, well, we got it now. You done cleared them out, and they ain't got no ammo left, and they can't defend themselves. We got this. And they're going to win. And the Americans are running right now. They're going to continue to run. Right now they're fighting, right? But we just explained the outcome. Here's what is going to happen for sure, okay? They're going to keep silence through their power, and then they're going to flee. And we're watching that right now in slow motion. So anyway, I just wanted to point that out because, again, if we go back here, right, you'll be led to believe that, that this thing is somehow over, right? Let's see. One day ago, we'll be leaving an end. Israeli ambassadors. Trump says Israel will be willing to end. What? What sense does that make? Okay. Let's look at that. Let's take a little look at this. See what they say right away without a commercial.
Hey.
Welcome to Meet the Press Now. I'm Gabe Gutierrez in Washington as the war with Iran nears the 3-week mark, and the Pentagon appears to be ramping up operations amid new attacks today across the region, including in Jerusalem's Old City. All of this while President Trump continues to suggest the war will be ending soon. Just moments ago, the president speaking to reporters about the ongoing war while leaving the White House.
Well, we've been hitting them awfully hard. I mean, I don't know if you can possibly get hit harder, but these are thugs and animals and horrible people. But you can't hit anybody harder than we've hit them.
Do you think Israel will be ready to end the war when you're ready?
I think so.
What makes you think so?
The relationship's a very good one. I think so. It's, we want more or less similar things. You know what we want? We want victory, both of us, and that's what we've got. Well, look, we can have dialogue, but I don't want to do a ceasefire. You know, you don't do a ceasefire when you're literally obliterating the other side.
When the war first began, President Trump suggested it would last just 4 to 6 weeks. And as we close in on the start of the 4th week, President Trump has repeatedly said in recent days that war will be over soon.
Okay, so that's crap. All right? Ain't no over soon when whatever they do, they're being retaliated immediately. Okay? They're being dealt with. Okay? And so even if they ran like it says they're about to, okay, they're still being dealt with. And the whole world is watching. So let's get that. I'm going to get that on the way out, and I'm going to go ahead and close. So let the week, right? That's the next one. All right. Joel 3 and 10. Here we are. This is the play-by-play. Clearly, Joel 3 and 10. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I'm strong. They're getting ran up out of there. America's on the back foot. Look.
Won't be long. And we're going to have a much safer world when it's wrapped up. It'll be wrapped up soon, but we're not ready to leave yet. But we'll be leaving in the near future. We'll be leaving in pretty much the very near future. As soon as that war's over, which will be soon, your prices are going to drop like a rock. And it's going to be over with pretty soon.
But despite those comments, the Pentagon is accelerating its deployment of thousands of Marines and sailors to the Middle East. That's according to two people familiar with the decision. These images show some of those U.S. service members departing San Diego for the region. Meanwhile, in the Middle East, Israeli emergency crews are scrambling after a major attack on Jerusalem's Old City. This was the moment of that strike when falling missile fragments hit. The IDF says bomb squad and border guard soldiers are at the scene to collect evidence.
Woo, that's huge. And here comes the what? Passover. All right. Here comes the Passover. Look at that. Let me get this on the way out. There's only one thing coming. Rev 11. Yeah. Rev 11:14. Any language. The second woe, Revelation 11 and 14, the second woe is past. Behold, the third woe is coming shortly. All right. So with that, we pray that the elect will edify you, brother, with peace, sister, shalom.